with some public speaking do's, because I think we're all grown-ups and we know the don'ts. So I don't have to tell the school board members. I grew up on the prior preparation prevents poor performance. So you touched on that too. Prepare. Don't go in there assuming you're so awesome and you're gonna know everything. I mentioned know your audience and talk to them, not at them. Really engage with them, talk to them. Let them know that you're being heard. Use your voice. Whether it's a high-pitched voice because it's loud where you're at on a construction site, or it's a very soft voice because you really want to drive your message. And if they're up here, you want to be down here. Use your voice, the voice that will tame the situation. That's what I tell my kids. Smile, it's contagious. If it's appropriate, we're not talking about an awful issue, and I'm going to be sitting there smiling like an idiot. But if it's appropriate, smile because it is contagious. Eye contact. Oh my goodness, eye contact all the time. I was once scolding my little boy. He was 5 years old. He's now 26. And he's like, his head is down like, Jonathan, look at me. Jonathan, eye contact. And he comes right up to my face. And puts his face right here. That's eye contact. Not so close. Eye contact while you're talking to people because it shows them you're interested and engaged. And if they're looking away, you still maintain your eye contact. Hey guys, it worked when you were trying to pick up chicks in high school, right? Eye contact.
Well, one thing on that. There are coaches that through the years have said, oh, if you're nervous, just look at the back wall.
No.
Doesn't work. You literally are better off looking here into somebody's eyes than looking here, than looking here.
Same thing in the city council meetings. I always looked out in the audience because I want to see those heads nodding. And when I see these heads happening, that's the person I want to talk to after the meeting. Because there's something I'm saying that they're not agreeing with. And don't be afraid to tackle those difficult folks. Pay attention. That's much broader than we can imagine. Oh, pay attention, that's obvious. But not really. Sometimes we're listening to people, not really. We're just waiting for our chance to talk. No, if they're talking to you, really pay attention. Formulate your thoughts after they're done. When they're talking, pay attention. Feedback watch. If you were shifting in your seats, if people started yawning in this room, my tone might go high, my tone might go higher. I might come right up to you and kind of call you out. I've called out people in audiences in a funny way, but you always feedback watch and adjust your speech or your presentation to what's going on in the room. Be funny. If you're funny. When an unfunny person is trying to be funny, it does not work well. If you drop a joke and you can hear crickets in the room, that is all they'll remember from your presentation. Use anecdotes. We talked about, personalizing your message. Do I share personal examples? Anecdotes are great, but they cannot be too lengthy and they cannot go outside the scope of what you're talking about. And keep them quick, eliminate the clutter. Like I just shared my little anecdote with NALEO, and then back. Now, do not read. I'm reading bullet points because there's so many awesome ones. I don't want to forget any one of them. But if you're in the middle of a speech, I'm actually called up to a presentation. I'm giving a 20-minute speech, and I'm down there, blah, 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 and this has happened. And we've had NALEO presenters that have stood there, blah, 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 blah. Terrible, because the last presentation I was listening to, someone on the panel with me actually, he stood there, no kid you not, for a half hour of his time. I do not remember a word that man said. All I remember is that he was reading. So please do not read. Bullet points. Remember I told you to think in bullet points? Have bullet points too, they're just as good. You one little scan, like Mike was doing too, one little scan, and then you talk about the issue. Know your material. You touched on that too, Mike. When you know something, like when the guy that did the print first and then he did TV, when you know your material, it's the easiest public speaking engagement you'll ever have. Never say no to a public speaking engagement. I don't care where I'm at or where I'm flying. And right now I live in 2 countries, Colombia and here, and the kids and the jobs. If I'm invited to speak somewhere, I'm mortified if I can't, but my goal is always to make it. Because it's, with practice, makes perfect. Always say yes. Gesticulate. Not so much. We tend to have an issue as Latinos. We joke that if we sat on our hands, we couldn't talk. So try to eliminate the over excessive gesticulation, when appropriate, gesticulate appropriately. Never apologize about something you were going to share with the class or you were going to share with the session. Oh, by the way, today I was going to have this piece of information. I left it. Never do that. They do not know that you're going to do something for them. So do not bring that up ever. Never apologize. Mind your nonverbal cues. What do I mean by that? there are times we're saying something, but our nonverbal cues, our body language is saying something else. My shoulders might be slouched and I'm here talking to you all excited, but I don't look like I want to be here if I'm all slouched, right? So posture, as my kids love to yell back at me, it's like, posture, Mom. I raise them on posture. Keep your postures, keep your mind, your verbal cues, be engaged. If you're talking to an audience and you want to be engaged with your whole body. Minding your over gesticulation. On the stage, if you were there this morning, I love being on stage. If you don't love being on stage, psych yourself up to be on stage because you accepted a public speaking engagement, or you are in front of your audience in the city council meeting. Guess what? That is the best stage ever. Be that person that owns that stage, that owns that microphone, and has something to say, and work the audience to your advantage. I love to see the nodding of the heads when I'm speaking, okay? Because that means, okay, I'm resonating with them. And again, if I'm not resonating, then go address that person at the end of the meeting. Say yes to every chance to speak. Grab them from go, and end with a bang. That's why I love how you put an elephant in a refrigerator. People have no idea where I'm going with that, and who starts something with that. So, and then end with a bang, end with something that, you know, I always like people to have a takeaway. So, with that, I'm gonna do my favorite thing to do, which I'm gonna ask all of you to stand up. Like you mean it. And then we're gonna say, you're gonna repeat after me, okay? I feel good.
I feel good.
Man, I feel good.
Man, I feel good.